Visit GoArmy.com and learn about 150 different career opportunities available now. Esports and the U.S. Army working together to make things better. We're back here at the Esports Stadium, Arlington, here for the U.S. Army Presents Collegiate CSGO Invitational. I'm Corey Dunn. I'm joined here with Jonathan O. as we're about to get back into the action. We've got 3 more matches to go through. These are the final 3 from the upper bracket round 2, so we've got some really good games coming your way. But let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule of what we've seen throughout this day and how this actually plays out. Actually, I take that back for a second. We'll go ahead and start. We'll go into the schedule, and then I'm going to have to introduce one of our co-hosts that are also with this as well. That's on me. But our today's schedule, we started at noon. We've got UTD facing off against MTU, Michigan Tech University, and of course Michigan Tech University had lost that one. They are the first team to leave our double elimination playoff bracket. That was a 2-1 series. Then RMU, Robert Morris University, defeats UConn decisively, and I had high hopes for that one. But as you can see, the scoreline is exactly the way that game went, 16-2 in favor of RMU. Then
it was worse than that.
No, I think that was accurate because we had one sick moment with Splix. Don't forget about that.
He did. He had the ace clutch, but.
Well, still, two rounds. I think it showcases exactly what happened. We had a really sick moment, but RMU is that strong. And then on the flip side, our last matchup that we had, that was also, it started off a little strange. It was actually looked like it was going to be a good fight, but then Purdue in the second map just put the pedal to the metal, and they were able to take that best of 3 series 2-0, and that's why we had the long break that we had. I mean, we were expecting to have a break. We were expecting to have an hour break, but we ended up went ahead and pushed that forward. Yeah, and so let's go ahead and take a look here as well, and I'll introduce our co-host here in a moment, but I'll introduce him now so we can go ahead and talk about it a little bit more. As you've got, here's VCU, and there we go. We're all jumping all over the place. No one's following my lead, but we got A-Track right here, A-Track. Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah, see there, we got A-Track here. He's joined us here as well, and so yeah, we got you there. Yep, yeah, we got you.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll be joining him with let's go and take a look back at the VCU squad as well. This is going to be who you're going to be playing against, or who we're going to see. They're going to be playing against. Here's your VCU squad. You got AK the Virus, Blur, Chaz, as well as Leprechaun and Wolfeye. And then over on the flip side for Kennesaw State University, you've got Danimal, Gonzo, as well as Manny, Austin, and Sebastian. And so these guys are Seb. And these two teams, they're going to be a lot of fun to be able to watch as we're kind of taking a look there. And this Manny is actually he's subbing in for Tay W, and actually speaking, Tay W is actually the sub.
Oh.
And Tay W even called that out himself as we look into it. But just like that, we're hopping directly into it. The reason why is we actually have, I believe it is Kennesaw State. They have a main match, and so they're like, oh, can we go, please? Can we go? So I don't know if we actually gave them the go-ahead, but it doesn't matter. We're in pistol round already. And, John, go ahead and kick it off.
I'm going to send it to I'm just kidding. I'll start this one up. I'll get the ball rolling for us here. As we've seen, VCU and Kennesaw, both these teams have pretty good standings for themselves, a.k.a. the Virus, one of the stronger teams. Wolfeye, great WP in his hands. Chaz, so strong on the Ivy position on Train, but we are in Dust 2 for our first map.
Right.
Now, this is the first one. We have never seen this for the first time in this double elimination bracket. We've only seen it 3 times in this tournament. We weren't even able to talk about any of the bans or how this is shaken up, so we'll have to see how this map goes. They're making their way onto the site. They've already found themselves an A-bomb site. It seems like none of the players on the VCU side decided wanted to camp along theirs. It is a 4v5, and yet Kennesaw is able to get themselves on the board. As we see Danimal here, he's got to have to hold the front line, and he's the first one taken out. And that's a nice shot from Wolfeye, following it on for his second of the round. He even finds some early clicks on Leprechaun gets taken, or sorry, I'm getting tripping up on my words. Corey, we got so fast into this, we weren't even able to warm up. We were warming out in the sun as we had such a long break, but it seems like VCU has been warming up themselves. That is first on the board for them to start off this upper bracket match.
Yeah, so they were so ready to rock and roll in this game that they also had a limitation that they didn't account for. We talked about it with all the teams that they needed to go ahead and get their skins adjusted. We talked about all these different things, and actually Austin was kicked from the server because he did not get his stuff ready. So this is where a little bit of a delay will come into play for these teams. But VCU will take this round, and we'll be waiting for Austin to be able to get back into the server. All right, let's downshift for a second. So if we have the map pick bands, because it's going to take him a second, if we have the map pick bands, let's go ahead and kind of showcase those as well, so we can see how this actually, why we're on Dust 2. And so here you go. You can take a look here with us. We've got Kennesaw had banned Inferno, Train, and Nuke. And so we see that there on the list. And then on the flip side, VCU, who had the higher seed, banned second. They banned Mirage, and then they banned Vertigo. And then they had a choice between Overpass and Dust 2. And that's where we ended up with Dust 2. So I'm grateful. Thank you for banning Overpass there at the end, VCU. So that way we can end up on Dust 2, or as we've seen before. And that was the match. A-Track, I don't know if you had seen the matchup earlier today, but Purdue in their second map, that game went 16-5 in favor of Purdue, and it was a decisive fashion. And that's something that we're going to be looking out for, some ridiculous games. But how's your day been so far, A-Track?
So far, been pretty good. Did some work on the computers today. Sat around the house, didn't go anywhere.
Hey,
not much.
That's the way it is. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Again, for those that this is your first time actually seeing A-Track, so A-Track is coming directly from Fort Knox. He is our co-commentator. This is now the trio for the rest of this evening, as we've got some really, really good games to be able to cover here. And let's go ahead. I want to take a moment too. We talked briefly about these teams, and I think we're going to have enough time. So let's kind of, I'm going to recap, go back to our VCU clips and some of the replay action that we've seen. So I'll give my team enough time to be able to build those out a little bit here. But let's go and take a look at VCU. This is VCU and how they were playing in their matchups before. So this is AK the Virus as we're taking a look at. I think VCU, they're a good team. I think this is going to be a good one to watch. Of course, Kennesaw, the biggest difference that we're going to see coming out of them is the fact that now we're actually going to see Manny for the very first time in this entire tournament. We're going to see Manny come out in replacement for Tay W. And I think that's a good – I mean, Tay W had some tough games. He was not necessarily – he was providing enough context. He's helping his teammates, and of course they did come into the tournament. They did win their group play in first place. They did win the very first round, but that's where it kind of shaped up again to kind of give you that quick roster rundown, as again VCU had won the very first pistol round. And, of course, you got AK the Virus, Blur, Chaz, Leprechaun, and Wolfeye. John, let's go and talk a little bit longer about these guys here. What is one of the players that you're really looking forward to seeing here from VCU?
Chaz had a standout performance. I believe the only maps we've seen them on are Train, and they absolutely dominated their competition. They went up against the likes of Drexel, and we thought that'd be a pretty solid matchup. We saw it was Febreze, the guy that we have always been talking about for their team, as they're now unfortunately eliminated, but Chaz was that guy who was always finding him on Ivy. And then when he rotated out of Ivy, he constantly found picks for his team. Wolfeye, once again, on the AWP, just holding it down for the fort and just making it so difficult to maneuver around the map. And it just seems like their teamwork is also in unison.
Yeah, let's go ahead and hop back into the action. So that's VCU. We may spend some time later on, if needed, to talk about Kennesaw State, as Austin has joined the server again. And let's go ahead and take a look and see what they decide to do here. That was basically a nice, long, tactical pause, if you will. But here we have it. AK the Virus with the Bison. He's trying to be able to hold this one down. Of course, they molly that area off. So you're not going to see any push happen there. They've got 3 players that are playing long right now for VCU. And mid currently is wide open. But there's nobody challenging it. Up there we go. We now finally have one player that is advanced. That's Seb. And Blur is right around the corner. And he's set himself up. He's going to go ahead and push him with the rest of these players. Oh, he's trying to get around onto that box. He just couldn't find it. And Wolfeye gets one, and Leprechaun's right there. So Wolfeye was actually watching the window. That's what the angle we were watching. Leprechaun was watching down below, and then you had behind him, who was actually on the back plat, which is watching window, was Wolfeye. All right, John, what do you got?
Well, we've just seen 2 clinical rounds coming out for the side of VCU. Once you win the pistol, that's all you can expect. Danimal was lights out with this AWP, is something to note, as well. His teammates are okay. Well,
they took over long real fast.
We were talking about Danimal, and it seems like his teammates were like, all right, we can do the work from here. Now this is the gunfire we can see from Kennesaw. That's 4 players down, and before I can even say anything about the match, it seems like Leprechaun's finding himself in a disastrous position. He's going to be able to find one in Manny. I'm curious to watch Manny and see how he develops so far in the series. Like you mentioned, Corey, we haven't seen him at all in this tournament.
Right.
We haven't seen great stuff from Tay W. In the fact of I thought he was one of the main players on that team, but Manny, if he is on the main roster, I really want to keep an eye on him. But this will be the first round of the board for Kennesaw as they're able to bounce back. And that seems to be a reoccurring trend as some of these maps, is they'll see the first two go in favor of the pistol and then the immediate return. And then we'll see a 2-2 scoreline. And I feel like after that point, it's either a full momentum swing, whoever's able to take it after the 2-2, or it flips back onto the side, back and forth continuously. And just constantly those momentum swings go back and forth. And so very impressive start there from Kennesaw. We were on board with Danimal, so we weren't able to see any of the action on A-Long, but as you mentioned it, they just ran out there and they were able to find all the picks they needed.
Yeah, I got to see it from my angle, and that was definitely a lot of dominance right there. Well-placed shots there, pushed out into long. Immediately went, checked CT spawn, took out the guy there, and then just absolutely grabbed that site as fast as they could. All right, looks like we got Kennesaw pushing up onto Catwalk here. We got two for VCU. Oh, getting the headshot there with the P250. Oh, snagging another one as well. Still 3 left. Pushing up on along, though, is 2v3 right now. Blur down to 4 health, and he's taken out easily by Nitsu.
Austin.
Yeah, Austin.
Is that his?
Austin.
Austin.
Backwards.
Okay, Austin. Got it. And now, again, it's, 2v3 now. AK and an op versus a Deagle 5-7. Oh, no, just an AK and a 5-7. Oh, 2 AKs now. And, yep, 2v1. CT's taking the round. VCU with the defuse. Looks like he's got plenty of time as well.
That was a good retake coming in for VCU. They just won the right gunfights, but more importantly, this was a save round coming in for VCU, and what we saw was Chaz with that P250 holding down the catwalk, picking off both of the 2 that were coming in for the initial entries, which actually slowed them down a little bit. And then one of the things I want to call out too is Blur was playing right there on the A ramp, and he took so much time. He basically wasted their time and basically drew all their focus, and so they didn't really challenge it. Here's going to be the very first gun round. Gonzo's got the op in hand, and on the flip side, Chaz has the op over deep into the A-bomb site right by Goose, as he's got that AWP as well. Now you've got a little bit of action. They've actually filtered the way, and there's the... Oh, no! Chaz misses the shot, and Manny wins the fight. As now they've also, like I said, they've given up mid, and AK the Virus finds one through the smoke, but just like that, they're just trading kills. This is happening all over the map. Whether it's in mid or in long A, there is different fights that are happening across the board.
What we know about Blur is when we saw him on train, he was the anchor for that B bomb site, and no surprise to see him there on A. Able to hold down his own, and they actually retreat out of A long, not wanting to pick any more fights. They don't know if there's a flank coming, but it is a 3v3. Is now, oh, okay, that's a nice pick there from Gonzo. Ooh. He's going to take out Blur. That's going to open up the A side, and Austin's found himself in a very forward position here on mid. He's waiting for the rotate on from the B player, and he has got the perfect angle. AK the Virus has found himself pretty far forward there in connector, but he's going to fall back from that position. He's going to try and join with his teammate. He hears some footsteps going on the A side. Now they're going to spot him, and that's a good shot there. He's going to take him out, but that's not going to stop him from the bomb going down. We're going to see a 2v2 retake here, Corey. They've got a kit on both of these players, and they've got time to do it. Let's see how they try to work together.
Yeah, one of the things that Gonzo actually started initially with that AWP because they had a really good spawn towards those long double doors. He dropped the AWP back into the hands of Danimal here. And of course, Danimal is the primary opper coming in for this team. Now they're starting to work their way towards long A, and Austin right on top of the A ramp. He spots one, and now Leprechaun completely relying on that flash and the smoke, but just over the top is going to be Danimal. And now the score is going to be 3-2. And this is going to be a fight here, 8-track. These two teams, they're going to go tooth and nail throughout most of this game.
You think it's going to be a lot of back and forth?
I mean, we've seen some different things in this tournament, and when the main thing that I was really looking forward to in these 2 weeks was upper bracket round 2. And great pick by Gonzo. Expect Gonzo to toss the AWP back to Danimal, unless he's really starting to feel himself.
Yeah, it looks like he is watching those doors on long. And looks like we got bomb down in lower tunnels here, pushing up through mid. A little bit weird to put the bomb all by himself. As long as he doesn't push, that's they'll be okay there. They got 2 on Cat, 1 in the back of mid as well, and then 1 over on B site.
Yeah, he decided to go ahead and drop that down towards lower B just as you called him out on it.
Yeah. Almost like he heard me. Yep, here come the utils. Comes the push. And we got Wolfeye there with the scout. Right next to him is that Blur. Yeah, Blur's right there with him. Some AK spray. Getting that boost right over the smoke to get the pick off on Manny there. And Danimal pushing up onto window here.
Great firebomb.
There we go. Yeah, that was some really good sight control. Pushing up through mid and then having your guys come through tunnels to get the flank while everybody was focused on the big group of guys in mid there. Bombs planted. Kennesaw getting some nice sight control here. 4v2. Op and an M4. 3 AKs in an op. And Seb just get a double kill?
Yeah.
Oh, he just got another kill.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
he's got 2 kills right there, just in quick succession. Now of course, he was holding down. He's watching over the player that was pushing out with the scout. I believe that was Wolfeye. And Blur is going to go ahead and hold on to this M4, but they are chasing, and they're chasing to the right spot. And there he peeks out at the time there. Now, of course, to see if he can be able to hold on to this AK, decides to keep challenging it. Of course, he's not going to be able to save the M4. Little pet peeve of mine.
Yeah, he was definitely trying to battle his way out there. And as we were watching, we were on board with him there. And it was actually Seb who was able to get the last kill. So they completely got him from all angles as they hunted down that gun.
Yep.
So this is going to be a hard-fought battle from VCU now. So we see the teamwork of Kennesaw is really prevailing here. Seem to be in sync and having a pretty good T-side for himself. Austin's going to find himself 1. He's going to find himself 2. That's going to open up the B bomb site. They don't know that yet. And Manny's going to find 1 for himself on Kaz. They're just starting to get aggressive. This is an eco round. So trying to find the picks where they can. And AKA the Virus is going to be happy. They're going to get 1 there. He's going to take out Manny. Jazz. He's the lone representative now for his team, and he's gone quiet, and he's going to find nothing. He found some taps, and it wasn't enough. The head armor is prevailing through the USP, and that's going to be round number 4 on the board for Kennesaw as they finally take a lead. As their money starts to congregate on their side, we see a gun round now coming up for VCU, and this will be a big one. They need to win this one. They need to keep their economy somewhat intact. And once again, we're seeing a fast push out the A doors. They need to win this fight. Danimal's the first one out, and he's the first one out by a mile. He's going to see AKA the Virus, but AKA Virus is going to win that fight. And Manny's going to say, no, thank you. I want no parts of that. He's going to retreat out, but on the flip side, Seb's actually found a pretty far forward position on Cat. And they say, you know what, every time we go out mid, this seems to work. We can at least try to split up the teams. We can try to get some confusion. Let's regroup, let's re-strategize, and let's see what we can get going.
Yep, looks like they're going to be sitting mid here for a second again. And what about their strats going to be? Go Cat or mid, or if they're going to go through tunnels? They're kind of surrounded right now. All being in one tight area like that and pushing out at the same time can be pretty bad if you got a guy with a full magazine spraying through the smoke. Oh, man. Just all down to 2 now. Already getting picked off there as they're all pushing through mid doors. Looks like they're going to try and go for a cat push here. Gonzo with the bomb. Followed closely behind by Austin. Oh, and AK the Virus is on site waiting for him with the AK. Ooh. Almost catches him at the right moment there. 1v2 scenario. Yep, we see the CTs pull through there. And Kennesaw takes another loss. VCU 4-4 now.
Very important round on the side of VCU. Their money was not looking great. Winning that round is going to mean a lot to them. It's going to mean they're going to get a lot more utility for themselves. They're going to have a much more comfortable time fighting these rounds out, as last time they would have been bottomed out. They still have to make it through 1 more gun round on the side of Kennesaw before they're in the total clear. As we see now, it's a delayed A-long push as Gonzo's made his way all the way out, and Kaz has found 1, and Gonzo has returned to the favor on AKA the Virus this time. Now pushing forward with utility. Wasn't expecting a 3rd player to be there in Blur. And he's able to take advantage, but what does that mean? That means Catwalk is widely available to take. As Seb's going to walk in, he's going to find Blur. That means the bomb site's open. But the bomb is nowhere near. It is still an A long, and now it's just down to one player. And Wolfeye, he's going to spot one. His teammate's going to try and support in that Seb. He sees him from above, and he gets taken down. They keep finding these 1v1 fights, and he knows exactly where the bomb's being planted. Wolfeye's got a chance in this round. It was 1v3, and they kept picking him one by one. He's got to land the shot, and Danimal does. He stays cool, calm, collected, even under some pressure. Puts number 5 on the board for Kennesaw.
Yeah, the way that he played that there, he should have probably you knew that he was playing against Offer. A little bit of a jiggle peek here and there could be able to make a lot happen there. But Danimal holding it down, getting the bomb planted, and now we're at, again, Kennesaw taking 1-round lead here over VCU. Now we've got a quick rush that's happening there towards the lower tunnels. And of course,
yeah, it looks like the CTs are going cat, though.
Yeah, you've got a good push that's pushing over here towards the catwalk. But now they're going to have to backtrack towards the A-bomb site, which has been taken up over here by Kennesaw.
And I love this game that VCU's playing, or excuse me, Kennesaw's playing. Every single time they pushed 8 long, they saw, oh, there's 3 players there, push cat immediately. And what did they do? They see this time, they see that multiple players are at cat. What do? They push 8 long immediately. They're perfectly countering this playstyle out of VCU. They're taking the exact positions that they need to. They're taking the fights they need to. They're winning them, most importantly. And now they're even taking some of the guns out of their hands. It's down left to Wolfeye. He's probably going to want to pick up that M4 and then hightail it on out of there. Oh, he's going to get spotted with his knife in hand, and Danimal's going to close it out. 6 on the board for Kennesaw, and just perfectly executing these rounds. It wasn't eco, but they are just showing that they are so good at figuring out what the strategy is and adapting to it on a moment's notice.
Yeah, but never bring a knife to a gunfight.
Yeah, fact.
That's all I'm saying. Don't get caught with your knife out. There's a lot of jokes you can make there.
Yeah, we actually saw that earlier with ASOS, who allowed a 1v3 retake to happen because he was just running at him. I think it was in the pistol round. We saw him run at him with the knife and just didn't close it out. And I'm sure you got to be wondering, why did he do that? They were obviously able to walk through with the victory in that one, but Kennesaw is trying to move themselves forward. This is the winner bracket side, and oh, Chaz is not able to find these shots, but his opponents aren't either, so he's going to stay alive. And on the flip side, Gonzo says goodbye to Blur, and that's the bomb site once again as Gonzo picks up a second for himself. This one already seems to spell itself out. This one might be already over. Now it looks like they're just trying to find exits for themselves.
Yeah, it looks like Kennesaw is starting to pull away here. 4-6 now. They're 6-4, sorry. And we're just seeing VCU go hiding over on B site, just hoping to keep their weapons for the next round because they're down on money. That's the thing with the economy in this game. It's not like other shooters where you gotta watch your money. Where you have a gun. It's not team deathmatch all the time. It's all about the objective. You can win a round, like you said yesterday, Corey. You can win a round with no kills.
So Corey, something that we've talked about throughout this entire tournament, we've always focused on, well, when we go to Overpass, when we go to Nuke, when we go to Train, we're like, well, this is a CT-sided map. Well, this one's a CT-sided map. Well, this one's a CT-sided map. How do we feel about Dust 2?
Yeah, Dust 2 varies quite a bit. I mean, I've seen different iterations of it, and it really comes down to the different tactics that are playing in it. So, I mean, I'd say it actually could be a little bit of a T-sided map from time to time. It depends on, again, I'm seeing a very standard 3-2 split from VCU. I'm not seeing like anybody that's watching over mid, and so that's where you're seeing like the mid control. So they're really relying on the retake. So it might be, I'd say, closer to like an 8-7, 9-6 for the T side. So now we can see how they'd be able to open this one up. But the way that Kennesaw is playing extremely well, getting a lot of these opens now. Like I said, they've got some good counters to what's happening there, and they actually, Manny just walks right past, but completely blind. And so now, but it is, with that being said, is Chaz is by himself now. He's the LMS, and the bomb will get planted inside of B. Kennesaw's playing this map really well, and this upper bracket round is going to be a best of one. So also to something to consider too is Kennesaw, like directly after this game, they have a main match that they're also playing too. So they're like just rushing. They want to make sure that this game ends quickly, as that game begins in 37 minutes. They don't want this game to last too long at all. And Chaz is just going to get consumed by that flame, and Gonzo's forced him out, as now the score is 8-4 in favor of Kennesaw.
Oof, that was rough. That was an interesting hiding spot for him. Just going down in a pit like that. All the utils just get thrown down there. It's melted.
That it was, trying to hold on to any little thing that he could, and is ultimately taken down. It's 8-4 in favor of Kennesaw, and we're seeing a fast B push here, but they're going to get stopped by the Molotov going down just there. We see a dual AWP set up for the first time. One in the hands of Wolfeye and one in the hands of Chaz. Wolfeye, we know he can be lethal with that weapon, and just as I say that, he's able to take down one. So the fast B hit has turned into a slow B rotation, but look at Manny. He's already found himself deep towards mid. No players have contested that. He didn't even have to seemingly lose. He's still got his utility. He just made his way through. And now he's going to find Wolfeye completely unprepared. That's going to leave another player on site confused of where did he come from. No one's watching the angle. Leprechaun has gone down with him as Austin's gone hunting now. He's pushing through the smoke. He hears the bullets. He is going to be coming right on out them. But all of a sudden, there's so much confusion coming out from the side of VCU. They have no idea where these players are at. Chaz is going to try to push through the smoke, and he's going to get found. But, oh, my goodness, the no-scope headshot, because why not? He's now finding himself in a 2v2 retake on the back of that one. He's got to be pretty happy after finding that kill. They have 2 kits in their hands, so this is entirely possible for them to do.
Oh, the fire got him. Wow, that molly was really good off the wall. Did you see that? Just sitting in the back of sight.
Sure did, and that's will put the 5th on the board for VCU, and as you mentioned it, that Molotov perfectly placed. Getting him in the exact positions they wanted to, able to take the fights together. And that's what you want to start seeing from VCU is that teamwork. That's something that we've been making note of. Their teamwork is stellar. Even though Chaz and Wolfeye are those 2 players that we've considered to be like some of the top players on the team, we know Blur can be an anchor. Leprechaun, a.k.a. the Virus, those are also 2 pretty solid entry fraggers that we've seen so far in this tournament. So if they start coming alive, this might be a little dangerous as we see some action once again go down towards A long. Going into the favor of Kennesaw once again as they notice, well, there's 2 players there. Let's just go Cat. And that is Sebastian. He's going to be that player who's going out there, and he's going to find 2. And that's going to open up the site. He's going to find another one. That's Leprechaun. Wasn't expecting him to be there, and he's the last one in the round. Manny can't find the shots, but he's able to connect it. And that is going to be a commanding round number 9 on the board here from Kennesaw. Last round before the half. We see the AWP purchased immediately from Chaz.
Yeah, Chaz wants to stop the bleeding. They want to make sure that they can get at least this final round of the first half. And so he's going to go directly for it. And he's not a glass cannon, so that's something to take in consideration. So let's go ahead and see where he ends up playing. As he's right there on long. Top A. This is where we saw him before last time, but now already like that. AK the Virus giving up Catwalk. And so Blur is going to have to give him some coverage here. But little does Chaz know, there's no one heading towards long A right now. And so he doesn't need to worry about it. Oh, they force him out, and he picks up one. He can get another one here. Oh, just barely missing off the edge of the box. There's his second one. He can continue here with this action. Oh, but Danimal gets the upper hand. It's now left up to Leprechaun.
Oh, I was about to say, did they trade?
No,
I got confused there. I was like, there's no way that happens.
No, not in Counter-Strike.
I was about to say, that would be the strangest thing. I was about to say, I have never seen that before, but...
Neither have I.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see that, Corey. That will be those things that's maybe the free bingo square just because you'd never see it.
Yeah, that's just not going to happen. 1-on-1 right now. Leprechaun is the last one alive. He's only got 6 kills in this game so far. And Danimal's been playing pretty well. And I like what Danimal did. He decided to go with an AK instead of an AWP. He's not worried about long, though. You can see how he's playing on the A ramp. This is irregular play style. And there you go. Great job by Danimal to be able to finish things off there. And 10-5 is your score. Wow. VCU just they've got to have a really solid T side here. But Kennesaw, they want to get this match over fast, and so they can get into their main match, I guess.
And VCU had the option to go to overpass. I mean, it's actually kind of strange for me to think that we're on Dust 2 right now in a best of 1.
Yep.
This is that map that's usually you see it as the decider, or you see it as almost like a
don't question
counter
it.
pick.
Don't question it.
Well, yeah, I'm not questioning it. So we'll have to see if VCU, if their T side is any stronger than that of Kennesaw's, at least to try to force some more rounds on the board here as we see this pistol round unfold, and they're making their way quickly out towards A long. They're only going to meet one player, and that's Danimal.
They were all jiggle peeking that corner there.
Oh man, Danimal, he's gonna fall back. They're gonna go ahead and try to retake this site, or all play from elbow and see if they can win these long-range battles.
But Gonzo coming up on the flank too right now with the USPS, trying to go for some headshots here. Oh, finally gets spotted, but he does manage to grab 2. Still alive. 2v3 right now as we see Seb up on Cat coming up behind. Lep all by himself with the Glock. Just hoping to get 2 more kills here. He managed to pick the 1. Oh, down to Down to 8 HP, and there it is. Seb just picking it up and going for the defuse. See, I think that this map is super T-sided, if you ask me. I feel like every time I'm ever watching a match, or if I'm ever playing a match on Dust 2, it's almost always a case of you're getting the majority of your wins on the T side.
Yeah, no, so that's where I think we're close to, probably close to a 9-6 on the T side. Is usually like your half score. So Gonzo, though, he does come around on the flank to pick up those two, but in the end, you have it, Kennesaw winning the pistol round here. And now we see a nice full rush as they go ahead and get to the B tunnels quickly and see what they can be able to do there. Seb has already spotted himself one as they wait for the bomb carrier to get here, and they're going to go ahead and have a little powwow before they start to execute. They do have smokes and flashes here with the Tech-9. This is absolutely going to be a B rush. There's no question. And if they change it, I'll question it later. But they're all set up here. Here comes the smoke and flashes over the top. They're going to go ahead and smoke off window. Actually, I think that smoke missed the mark here as well. No, it does put him in the right position. And look at that. They take over. But there's still another player. That's Danimal. Danimal's been playing well. And jumping into the site is Austin. Austin just saying, hello. And now it's down to a 2-on-3. But look at the health for Blur and Wolfeye. And Danimal, I think he wanted to challenge it. And here's the Tech-9 in the hands of Manny. Manny's going to jump over. He spots one, tapping, and he doesn't win the fight. But oh my goodness.
Wow.
And look at that. Kennesaw loses the B bomb site, and they actually lost an M4 and a UMP, and that Tech-9 rush did the damage, and they pick up the second round, and Kennesaw has now been reset.
Yeah, Wolfeye survived with 1 HP there.
Hey, that's all you need. That's all you need.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, more utils is going to be another long push here, looks like. They seem to be really good at these rushes and just overwhelming whoever's on the site. You know, when you're going into a situation where it's a 3v5 or a 2v5, you're always going to be obviously at the advantage here, especially if you have an AK. If you can land that headshot and take him out in one bullet. Already on the site, throwing mollies out to control Catwalk here. Trying to keep them back at bay. Lep planting the bomb now. Getting some sprays down. Pushing them back, and it's already all down to 1. Gonzo by himself with the deagle. Just going to sit on Cat, maybe try and get a pick. Oh, and he does on Blur there. Pushing out again, and gets taken out there by Wolfeye. And that's going to be another win for VCU now. It's 11-7.
Corey, I think something important to watch here is to see how Kennesaw wants to control mid. I think that's the catalyst for them as last round. Is every time it was like, oh, someone's A long, just go through Cat. We got it for free. And there was the flip of that. If they had Cat, it was like, oh, well, we got A long for free. I think if they're able to shut down that mid position, if they're able to gain control of that, then this should be a good-looking round for them. As now they're trying to be aggressive towards that A hall. And that is having absolutely no success for them, as Wolfeye is able to quickly find 3. Leaving it down to Danimal. They were on only pistols. I don't think they invested anything into this round. They just want to make sure that they're set for the next. And Leprechaun's going to close that one out. 8 on the board here for VCU. It's 11-8 in favor of Kennesaw. And this is going to be the first gun round of this second half. And we actually see quickly 2 AWPs, one in the hands of Gonzo in that glass cannon and the other in the hands of Danimal.
Yeah, I'm curious where we're going to see both of those players end up playing. So I'm going to go ahead and track with them. And Gonzo's got mid with the AWP. And then on the flip side, Danimal's watching long. And just like that, they're already here inside of the B tunnels to make this decision where they like to be able to execute. They are slowed down by the incendiary grenade. And here's the smoke. Nobody's peeking through yet, and there's no counter spam that's happening yet either. And so Seb's going to take advantage of that and go ahead and get himself positioned on the opposing side of this bomb site. Here comes the flashbangs over the top. They're going to be pushing in. Seb is currently playing this one passively. Oh, no, he's been spotted, but that's going to be enough time for him to be able to take out Leprechaun. And both angles have been smoked off, and now this is going to have to be a full retake. But all 4 players here from Kennesaw have already made it to that B ramp. And looking over at the inventory, they only have a smoke and a flash from Manny. And Manny doesn't look like he's going to try to utilize this at any point in time. And that's going to have to make him backtrack a little bit here before he decides to be able to execute. Only 2 kids coming out here for Danimal and Manny. Again, they're just being delayed. Great crowd control. I don't see any more utilities coming in for VCU, so this is now allows them to have the chance to make a move. And just like that, they decide their move is actually going to be to exit out of the bomb site, and they just cannot keep that AWP alive. As Danimal gets him another one, but Austin's down to 15 HP, and oh goodness, Danimal playing a tough position. They know exactly where he's located at right now. He has to make some ridiculous shots, and they lose all of their weapons. So their goal in mind was to leave the bomb site and save their weapons, and in the end, they do not get the round. They do not be able to retake the bomb site, and they do not get to save their weapons. All three of those choices were off the board once VCU was able to come to life.
And what great recognition there from VCU is they were like, all right, they cannot get into the site. There is absolutely no way. They had the perfect amount of Molotovs, the perfect amount of smokes, just to lock them out of the site. And the second that it got quiet, they're like, oh, they're leaving. Let's go find them. And that's exactly what they did. They hunted them down, removed absolutely everything for them to utilize in this round. And oh, Gonzo, he missed the easy shot and hits the hard ones. Oh, okay, well, he hits that one too, because of course he does. He's been looking pretty sharp in these pistols in this game. He's warming up for his main match following this, but they still have the lead 11-9, as now Manny's found himself an AK. It's a 3v3 on the back of those two nice headshots that we saw from Gonzo. The bomb is down in the B site. There's one player in Wolf Eye watching down mid, and Manny's not going to expect that in the slightest, and he gets taken down. These two players are now splitting up, as one player's on the A side and one player's on the B side. They're going to have to work solo, as it seems like the bomb's going to be making its way to that B site. Manny only with the P250. He's got a big task ahead of himself. And is actually just getting out of there. Maybe someone called out that, hey, there might be a weapon down there towards mid if you want to grab it. I don't think he's got anything for himself other than that deagle that's laying on the ground. He's going to go back to the site and realize, oh, well, I gave that one up. Molotov's now blocking him out. He's like, well, this feels familiar. This kind of feels like last round, as they heard the fire burn him just a little bit. Saw one jumping over, calling for his teammate to do something. He's running past mid, and he is running and gone, as he's picked up an AK for himself, and I now realize that Austin does not have a kit either.
Yeah, the fact that he's electing to even try to retake this bomb site on a 1-on-3, it doesn't make sense. I mean, unless he's looking for exits here. And maybe he might be able to pick them off because maybe they think, okay, well, we lost an AK. We need to go ahead and start chasing after the weapons here. And you can see him start to be able to peek out. And again, I have no clue what the purpose of this round was for Austin other than just to give away a free AK.
Maybe he saw two people running out of the site. Maybe he was thinking, haha, I'm going to get a cheeky defuse here.
Yeah, but no kit, and there was no kit inside of the site either. That's the part that I just started to question. But 11-10, Kennesaw still has the lead, and now we're going to see another gun round coming in here, A-Track.
All right, yep, here it comes again. We got, already we got a kill. Danimal taking out Lep. It looks like it's going to be a push over here on long. Oh, no, they're just grabbing the bomb. They're probably going to rotate back through mid. Oh, and Gonzo getting himself a kill with the op there on Wolf Eye. Yep, Gonzo just sitting here watching mid as well. I don't know what his name is on your screen. Is it Chaz? Is the guy that's mid Chaz, right? He's in CT spawn right now. It's Chaz, right?
Yes, Chaz is Kinship.
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, cool. I just want to make sure I was saying the right name, before I get yelled at. All right, cool. Now it looks like it's going to be just sitting in mid, waiting down some time here. Kind of deciding where they're going to go. It looks like they're going to be pushing up to long. This Chaz is watching the angle, throwing the molly out here. AK the virus watching mid. Gonzo sitting here waiting for something to poke out through. Oh, it looks like they're actually going to be rotating and going over to B now. Seb ready with the M4. Waiting for the utils. And any minute now?
Yeah, they've got 2 mollies and a smoke and a flash to be able to execute here towards this bomb site. So I suspect seeing there's that initial flash as they push into the site.
Yep, there it is. Seb picking one off before he himself gets taken out. AKA the virus watching these doors, throwing the smoke out there so they can get on the site and get the plant. Gonzo just taking some shots through the smoke there, hoping to get one as they were crossing over. Bombs down. We see Chaz taking out Gonzo there. Op down. Going to the back of the site. Oh. Why is AK pushing up that close? He should just hold an angle there. That's a little bit...
Yeah, just trying to get on the other side of the bomb site, so there's a little bit of variety here.
Nice taps coming out from Austin. He's able to take down Chaz, and Chaz was looking the wrong way, and Manny pokes at just the right time. Kennesaw is able to stop the bleeding here. Get one on the board for themselves. That is number 12. They're able to save double AWPs for themselves. They have been liking that setup on this map. They are very much been liking that. Haven't seen so much success from it, but this round it was able to work. There we have it. Daniel able to find the first one, and then Gonzo actually telling me that I'm wrong, and they found 3 picks from those AWPs in this round. So maybe I should pay more attention to how those guns can make an impact. And as I said, Corey, Gonzo watching down mid, I think that can be the impact. Not giving away those positions for free.
Yeah, you're seeing a little bit more of a standard coming in here for Kennesaw. You've got 2 that are watching long A, kind of top A, 1 kind of a flex. You've got 1 on catwalk, 1 watching mid double doors, and you have 1 in B. Very standard, very puggy style. It's what you traditionally see. Sometimes you'll see on professional play, you've got 3 players that'll play long and 2 playing B, and they'll have rotates and try to get some good retakes and so forth. But right now we're seeing a really standard 1-1-3. So we'll see how they'll be able to continue to hold throughout this game. But Kennesaw, it almost looked like they were going to give up another round, but they do a really good job on that retake. And already starting this round, it is 4-4. And Gonzo, who has changed his position, he's got himself an AWP. I don't know why he's checking out his teammate there. But Austin, who is flanking around, he was able to pick up 2, and Leprechaun was almost taken out as well. He's now down to 12 HP. 40 seconds left here in the round, and one of the big things I'll call out is Danimal's got his AWP, and I believe he's watching the cross inside of mid. So you will not have any players you will not see Leprechaun go back towards A, especially now with the time. So they know that he's going to be coming here towards this position, and Gonzo basically sounds the alarm, and Sebastian just goes ahead and slides in. So there you have it, 13-10 now, John. Kennesaw taking that lead. Of course, they're wanting to be able to finish this one a little bit faster now.
And that is what that double op setup can do. That's how dangerous that can be. That's what we were talking about on Dust 2. It's all about these long angles, and as you get that first pick, it seemingly becomes really hard to come back on. We have been saying it is a T-sided map to some capacity, but once you're finding yourself, I would say in any other map than this, is when you find yourself in a disadvantage in Dust 2, it really becomes difficult. And so these double op setups are great for that. Able to get those early picks. Now we're seeing some action towards that mid area. Manny once again poking out from catwalk. He's able to find 1 and get traded off as Austin's trying to get aggressive, revealing his position. He's going to get sprayed through. That grenade's not going to do any damage, but it's going to allow him the clearance to move out of the position. And the fire is getting taken down through the wall. Austin able to come out on top of that. He's walking away with 28 life, but he's going to be laughing that one all the way back to the bomb site.
Yep, we're down to a 3v4 now. Blur only at 29 HP. The T's are really, really spread out right now. VCU is super spread out. Looks like they're going to be pushing A, and it looks like Kennesaw is already anticipating that. They've got 2 guys, 1 watching cat, 1 watching long here. And here comes the utils and the push. Wolfeye taking point on this. There's the double flash. He's getting on site here. Danimal blinded, gets taken out. Couldn't put that op to use. Wolfeye at 6 health. We do have Seb trying desperately to get some picks here as he's all by himself on the site. Waiting for Gonzo to come in with the flank. And they're going to push together here. Gonzo with the M4 hoping to get a headshot there over the box. But it looks like... it looks like... I keep forgetting his name. Chaz is getting a pick there. And then Blur getting taken out. Oh, and Wolfeye by Seb. And all of a sudden we have ourselves a 1v1 here. AK versus M4. There's a really good flash, but Chaz looks away just in time. Seb getting low on time here. He's got to go for a kill. Oh, and he gets taken out.
7 HP.
And that's another win for VCU as they're coming in 11-13.
26-14 is Chaz. I said he was the player to watch, and so was Wolfeye, and those are the 2 players stepping up on this T side. Wasn't thinking they'd have this much impact, but they are definitely going to town. They are starting to get this margin even closer to their favor, 11-13. Still in the lead is Kennesaw. But Gonzo's found his way to B, and now he's going to find a nice shot. He's going to retreat. He's going to wait for his team to get into place. He saw many players there. They know this is a B hit now, and they can collapse.
Yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about was VCU and how they start every single round. They start every single round in the B tunnels. And so that this round was no different. And so now you can see them start to spread out. And you still have AK the Virus that is currently in lower B right now and watching the angles. And there's no players currently watching the cross. And so Wolfeye is just taking a look inside of mid. He didn't see anybody. This is an eco round. You can see Deagles and a 5-7. There is a scout in the hands of Austin, but that's something we see time and time again. And there's the tries to get a peek out there, but nothing comes from it. Sebastian is just toying with mid right now, but he can. There could be a lot of action coming his way. But actually, there's two players up on catwalk. They're in a good position to be able to take this round. And oh no, they peek too wide, and both of them fall. Manny's probably going to need to get a little bit more warmed up. As now you can see, there's watching the flank is going to be AK the Virus, and Austin's got himself still holding on to the scout. And maybe he can use the Deagle the same way that Gonzo does, but he decides to go ahead and save his weapon here. He does find an AK. That's actually a good pickup.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they try to hunt down. We saw how willing Kennesaw was to try to hunt down these weapons, and we'll have to see if VCU is feeling that same level of vengeance. They're starting to push.
Yeah, it seems like VCU's good. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, they're starting to push out from the bomb now. It seems like the closest player to him is Wolfeye. Now I think they're getting a little bit more eager to try to hunt this gun down. Wolfeye's not wanting to make any noise. There you go. He's going to look on over, and he's going to find him. But, oh, he's now going to just try and hide. He doesn't want to take the fight anymore. Austin's like, I surrender. Don't shoot. As he's able to see that AK
jumping in the corner.
My B, bro. My B.
And already we're doing 12-13. Looks like VCU's just picking up some momentum. They got some money in their pockets. They got some hype going. Trying to get this comeback here. It's coming into the last few rounds. Again, as you said, Corey, they're going over to B tunnels here. Starting out here, trying to gather some information to see if they're going to rotate or if they're going to do a push through.
Yeah, I can't tell you why they go to the B bomb site or B tunnels every single time. I think it's, if anything, it's just to show presence. And it might just keep Sebastian here, but it hasn't been necessarily working that fully. But now they are going to be executing here towards the B bomb site. Let's go ahead and see as they try to take over this site. Great smokes and flashes coming in, and there you have it. As there is still one player left alive here in the site. That is Gonzo. Gonzo, he's going to fight through the fire and flames and still be picking up kills, but he finally will be taken down by Chaz. Down to a 2-on-2. Bomb has been planted. And now, just like that, we're going to see how they're going to be able to retake this one. And Manny is watching high ground on that one, and AK the Virus is going to cut his feet right out from under him. And so now left up to Danimal, and he's actually going to chance this one. He got himself a better angle, and Chaz almost backs into the crosshair. And there's the flick, and Chaz takes him down to support his teammate, AK the Virus. And now we are all tied up. 13-13. The only thing I want to call about is maybe the only reason why they hit towards the B side is because the change that was made to Dust 2 a while ago now, that you can actually throw through the ceiling, which actually provides some extra, could be a distraction, could be initial picks, things like that. But this round, John, they're all heading towards A.
Yeah, that they are. They're trying to change up the tempo as they're going to be facing off yet another eco on the hands of Kennesaw. They have a feeling that Austin is in this position, but not enough of a feeling as he's able to find one. He's slowing down the push. As his team's able to rotate over, they're going to have to do work with these pistols. Gonzo finds himself with a Deagle, and we know the damage he can do, and he's going to have to do a whole lot to try to even up the odds. The jumping Deagle, you know, we talked about that earlier, Corey, of how strong that can be, and it didn't seem to be strong enough as Sebastian's not taking out that quickly, and Manny's actually able to find one. This is getting a little bit dicey here as it's down to a 2v2. You see all the bodies just wrapped around there. Gonzo somehow finds that shot, and what a shot again. Gonzo, how is he able to do it time and time over with this Deagle? 2 quick headshots. That rounds out to 14 on the board for Kennesaw. And oh my goodness, at this point, Gonzo, don't buy any other gun. Yeah, just don't. Every shot that he lands is the cleanest with the Deagle.
I want to know exactly what his stat line is.
I want to know what he ate for breakfast this morning.
Oh man, as we take another look here. Getting that one, and then bink, good night. Wow, good play there from Gonzo. As he does
he's
have
got a
the
64% headshot. So
yeah, well that's
that dude's accurate.
That's something for him. That probably does give us a good insight of how well he plays, because his second weapon, his secondary, instead of his primary being his deagle, his secondary being the AWP, gives a good idea, because usually those are body shots. So he might be utilizing the deagle 65% of the time.
True.
Manny once again just finding himself in no man's land, getting absolutely destroyed in that cat position. There's actually no one else on the A-bomb side. There's a huge flank. There's a player in T-spawn. That was Austin. What was he doing out there? Chaz is able to find him, but he just got stranded in no man's land. As now Danimal's found a pickup that ties it up at 3v3. That's going to slow down the pacing just a bit here, just enough for them to catch up, take a breath, and say, okay, let's roll up our sleeves. Let's remember, we got to finish this one out. It's 14-13. If we lose this one, our money's going to be in a bad position. That's the smoke coming out, and that's going to be an inclination. He sees a lot of utility coming out before that smoke blooms. He even gets flashed. Now that's going to be called for the A side. They're wanting to take it, and there's one player already watching. That's Blur from Catwalk. Let's see how much damage he can do. It's going to be Danimal just giving him a haircut, and Blur is able to take both of those players down. Gonzo, at this point, you're thinking to yourself, I think I might want to save this AWP.
He should have his deagle.
Swap with the deagle.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he just no-scope headshots. Because why not? Wasn't enough. The flash is great and all, but sometimes flashy's got to be backed up, and they're not able to back up that round. It's 14-14, Corey. We're going the distance, and Kennesaw, as you said, they got a match after this. They don't want this one to go any sooner. They want this one to wrap as soon as possible.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and see how they've been playing this one. Of course, they're having to play a little bit tighter in all their angles. Again, one of the things I thought was really interesting is the fact that both of the players pushed up. Danimal should not have been the one leading that charge onto the retake for Catwalk. It should have been Austin. And so now we can see them setting up. They've tossed out some mollies. And look at this. You got 4 players that have shifted their way back over here towards the B-bomb site. And Kennesaw.
I think they've caught on to their holding the tunnels.
Yeah, here comes the mollies and things over the top. And Sebastian throws a deep smoke for some reason. He's going to get taken out quickly. But there is one player inside the site. That's Gonzo. Gonzo's going to fall. And there goes another one. Manny's out. And Austin, he's going to try to hold this down, but he can't. And Danimal, the LMS. You have to question here. 1-on-4. You know, as kind of organizing this tournament, I don't want to think about the fact that, you know, whether they want to be able to play this one out and push it into an overtime, or whether they want to, because that's 8 minutes until the actual start time.
Well, and one thing to consider, Corey, they are on the upper side of this bracket, so you want to stay there as long as you can. Remember, there is $3,000 for first place, $1,500 for second, and $500 for third. So it's not like there's no prize at the end of this.
I know, that's what's crazy to me.
There's absolutely the reward here. So if you're Kennesaw, you're gonna fight for this last round, absolutely.
Yeah, and they've got ops in hands. They've got 3 M4s. And let's see what they can be able to do here. They want to see if they can be able to push this into an overtime. You can see that they want to make this happen. Any competitor wants them to try to make it happen.
It looks like VCU is going to be playing a little bit different style here with the mob back in spawn, and then 2-2 split with one down in lower tunnels. They're spamming the door just to get some attention. Again, going for that pick, that initial pick. The first pick of a round is essential, especially if you're going to be as spread out as this. When you go onto a site, you'd rather show up and there be 2 guys instead of 3. And looks like, speaking of 2 guys, we have 2 guys going up through upper tunnels right now, coming over onto B site with the bomb. It's Blur and Lep pushing up here. And everybody's kind of congregating together. They're going to do a nice push through here. It's going to be a 5v2, looks like. Just waiting on the utils. There they are. Flash out. Oh, is it a delay push? Yeah. I think they know he's sitting waiting there with the op. Only thing with that, though, is they just told everybody else where they're at. So now the entire team all of Kennesaw is headed over there now. And here comes the push. It's Wolfeye watching behind them.
This is going to be a cluster.
Gonzo getting some shots here as well. Ooh! All of a sudden, it's a 2v3, aka the Virus, and Lep, last 2 alive. Look at the health over on the CT side, though.
8 seconds. There's 8 seconds on the clock. They have to get the bomb down right now. They hear it planting. I wonder if they're going to try to run through the smoke and stop it. He is going to try, and he's not going to get it.
Baited.
Hey, the Virus, they got baited so hard. They wanted it. They saw the time. They saw the bomb. They heard it going down. They saw the bomb carrier, and that's going to write their demise as Austin pushes through, and VCU, by the hair on their chinny chin chin, they make it out of round number 30 on top. 16-14, and oh man, that ending there got absolutely dicey as Chaz leading the server. I think he had upwards of 30.
Yeah, Chaz played so well in that game. Even furthermore, I mean, we saw some really good gunplay. We saw really good deagle shots from Kennesaal's Gonzo. But VCU, they take this one 16-14. They will now advance. And now they have to face off against a team like RMU, and so man, these have been some good games to watch out for. But VCU taking that one 16-14. Best of luck to Kennesaw in your main match, as I know you're going to be rushing towards that one as well. But looking at how that one played out, what are some of the takeaways that you've got for us, A-Track, from seeing that? Because it was a tight match back and forth.
It was, and initially it was Kennesaw was on CT, right? Or sorry, T side at the beginning there. And they came out with, what was it, 9-6, I think is what it came out to at the end of the first half.
Yeah, 10-5.
Was it 10-5? 10-5? Yeah, and initially, like with a lead as big as that, you'd think that would have a weight on VCU, but they just fought right through it and came out on the other side stronger in that second half. And man, like I said, that map is so T-sided, it feels like a lot of the time. So they knew how to work it. It was a little bit weird how they were all going B tunnels. I've never seen that before, every single round. But then near the end there, when they realized that the other team was figuring out what they were doing, they swapped it up and went 2-2 with one on mid and managed to pull through at the end there. And the last round, Russian B like that was just weird. The delay push after all the utils, letting everybody know where you're at, and then coming out and just dominating like that was absolutely insane. Then, of course, the bait with the bomb at the end there. And then just the pick through window and door was nuts.
Something I want to call out is every time they started there at the B side, I don't think they had an execute on the B side that didn't go in their favor with the bomb going down.
Well, I mean, it's a tough one to take. I mean, with the new addition or the exclusion of a ceiling, I mean, that's where we've seen a whole different change that has happened to that B bomb site, throwing smokes and flashes directly into the positions that you were. Before, you could only throw it through the main entry, and those were easy to turn away from. And so now they're able to set smokes. You're able to actually even smoke off window. So all of those smokes are going to be able to allow you to have that easy entry, when in fact what you used to do was you'd have one player watching B and one player watching mid, and that's what Kennesaw was doing. And so it's hard to be able to help support your teammate inside of that B bomb site.
Well, even then, we saw two players in Gonzo and Sebastian.
We saw four people that were over there in the final round. So, I mean, I guess it really didn't matter any way you look at it.
The lawnmower, as you called it, they just came out and they just mowed right through them. I seen those B takes were just so lethal. Like I said, I don't think there was any time where Kennesaw was actually able to stop any of those. It seemed like every single time they pushed out, it either was like a 2-for-2 trade, or they just completely came out on top, got the bomb down, and they just got the full advantage. So impressive play for them on that B bomb side, as we saw a lot of A hits on the side of Kennesaw, and VCU turned it right back around on them, said, okay, we'll do it even better on this bomb site, and they exactly did that, bringing it all the way back to 16-14. They're moving on to play RMU.
Yes, so but we're at that point in the tournament.
I'm just saying
there are going to be some really, really tough matches. But coming up next, we've got UCF. They're facing off against Kansas State. That's going to be another good matchup. I said that last time with RMU and UConn, but I think that's going to be a good matchup because UCF is so much fun to watch. So go ahead, stay with us. After the break, we got more Counter-Strike.